person. For someone like you that you're just like this only source of income is just 9 to 5, you question yourself like I should have just also I should have just go into this entrepreneurship also. Because and one thing is that the reason because that person did business and the person he or she is able to succeed in it does not mean that if you do the same you'll be able to succeed in it. That's just the point. So doing that does not mean you are slacking off. And I think also hustling, let me put it that way, means different things to different people. So that's it.
Okay, thank you so much. Abigail, what do you think?
I think I will go with the word finding balance again. In as much as the country we find ourselves, you have to like hustle hard to like buy the basic things.
Yeah.
I feel like as much as you are working, I think you also find time to rest and all. I also like find time to like do little things for myself. Be it like things that I enjoy. Like for me now, I really enjoy reading, like watching movies. So if I've worked hard for the day, even it's just reading a chapter or watching an episode, I try, because that's like it helps me like settle down after the long day stress. Because if you are thinking about it, if you just keep thinking about surviving, I promise you are going to crash out so bad. So instead of overthinking, overworking yourself, also like find time to like
balance.
create balance, like do things that you like. And she also mentioned the point that if you also like see others like maybe your age mates like doing better than you, I won't like that thoughts will always come up. But it's just you just have to like find a way to not like those thoughts like override your sense of this thing. And yes, exactly. So that's just
thank you so much.
Yeah,
we've listened to some insights from Abigail and Nafisat on how they find their own work-life balance, and we'll come back after this short break.
Wear the khaki, but we carry more than just a bag. We carry dreams, grit, and a will to serve. This is Corpuscan, rising to serve, rising to lead.
Welcome to the Corpuscan program, where we have Nafisat and Abigail share their insights on how you balance your work life and your free time. Nafisat here told us about not having peer pressure while you are working and how you balance the 9 to 5 and also your free time, and also talked about entrepreneurship. And Abigail also gave more insights on the questions. So moving on, do you ever feel bad for resting? Like taking a nap or chilling makes you unproductive? How do you handle that guilt?
Honestly, I won't lie. Like, yes, most time when I'm supposed to like be working, I know like maybe I have a task to do, and let's say I'm tired, but if I don't rest, I might not give that task my all. So it's just better for me to like just like take a break, maybe for some minutes, and then continue with the task. Because if I don't, I promise you, once I complete that task, even the outcome, you yourself, you are not going to like it. So it's very essential, no matter how busy, like definitely we'll be busy. No matter how busy we are, it's very essential we take breaks, because if you don't take breaks, you're going to crash out so bad. So it's very essential that you take break. And don't feel guilty about it, because once you break down, you still have yourself to blame. So it's just better, as much as you can, take breaks in between and then go back to do whatsoever you are doing.
Okay, what does taking break mean to you? Like, what do you do?
Taking breaks, for me, when I want to rest, I most time like rest with maybe by listening to music. Just help me put my mind at ease, like not doing anything. Sometimes I even just like go off my phone, just keep my phone somewhere, just lie down somewhere, just rest. Not just like just like for the meantime.
For me, I think you asked the question like, do I ever feel guilty?
Guilty, yeah.
Of course I do, but there are some breaks that I don't feel guilty for because
Yeah.
they're actually very much needed. In the sense that some people believe that being busy means being valuable, which is
Yeah.
not.
Not all
So,
the time.
Not all the time. At times, rest is also very productive because when you rest, your mind works better.
Yeah.
Like your creativity come out much more better because you've taken. It's like you take a deep breath. I don't know. There's an exercise that I think medically you take. They say inhale and exhale. So at times when it's like taking a pause. Like okay, everything is just calm down, take a pause down. Then okay, fine. You can even if it's just 1 minute. That inhaling and exhaling. When you do that, when you finish it, you notice that you feel much better. So rest is also productive because after rest, the work you do after that rest, you cannot compare it to the one you did before the rest.
Yeah.
But a lot of people has made us believe that the only valuable time is when being busy means being valuable, which is not. But to me, when you rest, you are much more productive after than even our body. Our body needs rest. Our body tells us when we need rest, but most of us are stubborn. Like I think I'm part of them.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe I've been working since morning, and probably I'm just about to finish whatever it is, like rounding up whatever it is. But at that time, I know that I meant to take a break. I was like, this thing is almost done. Let me just finish it and rest. I do that a lot.
Yeah.
And at times, the body, even when the body say no, you just have to. But at times, the body will say no, I'm not doing anything. At this point, the body will just break down.
Yes.
That's where the problem begins.
Yeah.
So
all these illness and everything start from all these small
signs
I think
that
rest
we
is very
ignore.
important. Taking a 30 seconds or 30 minutes nap goes a very long way. A lot of us do not even sleep up to 8 hours. Normal 8 hours you are meant to sleep. Because you get home very late in the night. And you are up early the following day. And that pattern rotates each other every day. So at times when I take a break, I don't feel guilty.
Yes.
At times I was like, see, there's nothing that I want to do. I'm not doing anything again. At this point, I'm resting.
Yeah.
So I think there's some break, but some people rest. Take too much rest and at times it leads to being kind of you have to take a break. So that's it.
Yeah, I also wanted to chip in, but she already said like the ultimate rest should like be at night when you are back from work. Like sometimes the Lagos that we are in now, you might be like encounter traffic at time and you'll be able to like meet up with your 8 hours of sleep. But I wanted to see that 8 hours of sleep is like also really, really essential. That's what I wanted to like say.
Okay, thank you so much, Abigail. Also, if you had one soft life tip to give to other couples, something simple that makes you happy and sane, what would it be?
For couples, it's just the simple thing. I'll say, live your life. Protect your peace.
Okay.
NYC here can be very, 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 very stressful. It's not even can be. It is very stressful.
Yeah. Aside the camp life
to me, a lot of people have all their whole life, they have never been stressed before.
Yeah.
The only time they are stressed is during their NYC service. Because I think NYC here pushes everybody out of their comfort zone.
True.
So some people that are used to this soft life, no stress, everything. There's no way you'll be an NYC member, a core member, and you're not stressed.
Yeah.
There's no way. At one point in time, you will stress. So I think my own is live your life and protect your peace. So there are some things that you like. I would say, transform your challenges into opportunities. I used to say that you face challenges during NYC, but make sure you transform that challenges into opportunities.
Learn as much as
opportunities. Learn as much as you can. Gather all the experience you can ever get. Because there are some opportunities that after the whole NYC stuff, you may not see it again.
Yeah.
Those experiences, these days, I think no employer wants to start from the very scratch, training an employee.
Yeah.
They want someone that has experience, even little knowledge about what they are coming to do.
Yeah.
So imagine you just you just being employed into an organization and they just notice that you don't even know anything about even the job and anything, the job description. They are busy with other things. They have a lot of works to do. So to them, starting over and like taking a break and start teaching you from the basic is like pulling them back. There's a saying that say the only thing you need is just idea. Just have an idea.
Yeah.
So a lot of people just build their life on the ideas, and from there, that's it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Nafisat.
So I believe what I'm about to say, I'm speaking for about, let me say 75 to 80% of corporates. I believe that our NYSC, this is the first time most of us are working in like an organization per se. We've never been like, we've never done 9 to 5 before. So it might really like take a big toll on us, although it is preparing us for real life per se. But like since it's our first time, we might find it hard. And so my babe, my guy, whenever you can rest, please do. And one soft life tip I will give, like, in as much as you are busy, find something you enjoy doing. Like, I know that we're all busy, but like, do not forget to like create things for, like, to create time for things you love. Don't forget to have fun. Definitely, we are hustling. There will always be bills to pay. But let me just say, once you collect that your 77K, if it's ice cream, you can buy for yourself. Buy ice cream. If it's shawarma, buy it for yourself, because there will definitely be bills to pay. So please, as much as frequent as you can, just make sure you just enjoy yourself. Buy something for yourself. That's just
I would like to add to what she said.
Okay.
I would say enjoy the little things. Even just a few moments of life in your life, make sure you enjoy it.
As much as
NYSC
like is stressful.
If they pay your halawi, remove 5,000 out of it.
Guys, don't forget
exactly. And invest.
What is your because it's very, very difficult. A lot of people use all their allowance on transport. Like there's practically nothing left. And that pattern will start from the first month of their service until they finish. Imagine finishing the whole 1 year, and you cannot even say, okay, fine. When you are now, you cannot create memories. You cannot gather anything. You cannot even say, this is something I did for myself during my NYSC. It's that bad. So as much as you are catering, because you are working for someone. You are not a full-time employee of that organization. So it's like you are substituting in an organization. In as much that you are doing that, you are helping someone, you are working for, so you are catering for someone's job.
Also
cater for yourself. Cater for yourself. Take care of yourself. Even if it is just little things, it's very, very important.
Essential.
It matters. Yes.
Today's program is all about not just the camp experience, but also living outside camp, like having fun, getting more experiences. Also, it's not just having fun. You can also like register for online courses during your CDS, meet people, socialize. You know, you never know what happens after NYSC year. Also, as much as you have fun, please don't forget to save and invest. I mean, life after NYSC is not easy. You have to start hustling for jobs and all of that.
This is Corporate rising to serve, rising to lead.
What a refreshing conversation. Today we've learned that soft life isn't about escaping work. It's about working smart, protecting your peace, and enjoying the journey. A big thank you to my guests, Nafisat Adeola and Emafidon Abigail, for reminding us that balance is the real flex. And to you watching, remember your hustle should build a life you actually love. Follow us on all social media platforms at Achievement Channel NG and keep the conversation going with the hashtag CorpersCan. Until next time, I'm Priscilla, reminding you deserve the soft life, but make sure your hard work makes it last. See you on the next episode of CorpersCan.
This is Corporate rising to serve, rising to lead.
is Mrs. Osage Cynthia. I've been teaching for 14 years now. I see teaching as a vocation and a way of, giving back to the society, helping children who are struggling with their education to grow and find their path in life. As a mother, I want the best for my children, and giving back to children in the society, helping them to find their potentials, helping them to find their path, gives me joy. I see that, in fact, it's a passion for me. I love teaching as a profession, and in fact, I see it as even as a hobby, basically. Yes. When I see children who struggled during the course of their years, because I teach in a secondary school, they struggled, but by the time they get into the higher institution, you see them doing very well, and at the end of the day, they come back and say, Mrs. Osage, you were part of my success story. So it gives me joy, So that's why this keeps me going and it helps me to do more. There was even a time a child sent me a text message and said, Mrs. Osage, I'm now a medical doctor. I never thought in my years, because I teach biology, I never thought that in my years I could become a medical doctor because I struggled. But you kept me going, you helped me, you told me, don't give up, you can do this. And that inspired me to become a medical doctor, And today she's a medical doctor and doing very well in the medical field.
I would rather say I'm born to teach because I derive pleasure seeing me instill value into people and seeing them carrying out, passing it to the next generation. It's most appealing to me as a teacher. And what you really make out of people, that's what really stands for me, and it has been a key point to me that it's not about the finances. Like we know in our countries today, they don't really value the teacher, they look down on the teacher. But you being a person that you don't look down on yourself, you want to put in and create an avenue for people to explore in their giving God's talents. I don't see the need why many people should not venture into that profession. It's a cool profession, and it's not basically within the four walls of the classroom. You can go all the way. As I'm talking to you, I'm teaching you, and I learn from you. It's a give and take situation. So it's not just a one-way thing. We are far beyond the traditional system of teaching. And now even within the comfort of your home, you can be educated. You can receive education. Be it online teaching or offline teaching, education is just the key. But the core value is to instill in you the value which you need to carry on to the next generation.
My name is Mrs. Ifoma Okolo from Anambra State. Over 25 years. At the beginning, like young lady, when I finished secondary school, my mind is not going to teaching. My mind was that, go to all those kind of courses, architecturing, pharmacy, and the rest. So I decided to now say, okay, let me go for architecturing. But then, fortunately, my dad is, he's late now, learned. And then he had a friend in one of the college of education in Delta State. He said, instead of you to be waiting to take JAMB, because it's not like now that before you even do the WAEC, they are taking JAMB. So we now take WAEC before JAMB. So he said, you've done your WAEC. Instead of waiting to take JAMB, why not just come in the college of education? So I entered. So when I entered, I started with mathematics, physics, education. So after that, maybe that was what made me say, why will you now after this one now go to? So I continued with education courses. From there, went into my degree education courses. When I look at my students, I feel that this is my life. That I can't even imagine myself going to do something else, like something that doesn't have to do with human being. So I feel that I need to mold these ones, because when I will be talking to them, I will just be picturing them in my mind, their eyes and everything. I say, this is where I belong. I have to look at these girls, especially because that is where I am now. My students are what inspired me to really say, I don't need to leave this profession.
A new day dawns, full of possibilities. Take the first step towards your dreams. Empower your mind with positive thoughts. Achieve more. Make a difference in someone's life today. Impossibility is nothing.
Good day, Nigeria. Welcome to Achievement News, your daily dose of inspiration, right here on Achievement Channel Nigeria, your first 100% motivational channel. I'm Udeme Essien, broadcasting live from our studio in Ikoyi, Lagos. Today, we're celebrating the spirit of achievement that drives our nation forward, from grand celebrations to the heart of our bustling markets. On today's headlines, we're revisiting the glamour of the Silver Bird Man of the Year Awards, showcasing international achievements in innovation and highlighting a powerful story of resilience from the streets of Ilupeju. Let's get started. On March 16, 2025, the nation gathered to celebrate extraordinary achievements at the Silver Bird Man of the Year Awards. This event, a beacon of excellence, highlighted the incredible contributions of Nigerians across various fields. The atmosphere was electric, filled with hope and admiration for the individuals who are shaping our nation. We witnessed moments of pure inspiration as the winners were announced, their stories resonating with every attendee.
How does it feel being surrounded by so many talented individuals tonight?
I feel great. I feel privileged. Out of 200 million Nigerians, and we have almost 100 people we are celebrating today. And fine, I'm not collecting any award, but at least I'm happy to be among them. You know, I'm very happy, delighted to see people succeed. And I have some Man of the Year, like some of the governors I love so much, like the Ekiti State Governor, Biodun Oyebanji, the Enugu State Governor, the Minister. David Omanyi. I'm seeing a whole lot of them here, and amazing. They are doing a wonderful job. You know, it's not easy. It's not easy. Even sometimes to even manage your home too, it's not easy. But managing crowd, so it's something we need to commend with them. So that's why the likes of us are here to celebrate with them.
Yeah. Daddy, how do you feel about this event?
Yeah, the event is a very good one. Where you recognize people and you give them due recognition, it encourages them to do better and to do much more.
Because on our channel, we're all about achievements, sir.
Yes.
Thank you so much for this interview, sir.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State was honored for his outstanding leadership and commitment to the development of Lagos State. His dedication to infrastructure development and inclusive governance has set a benchmark for purposeful leadership. And also, Governor Biodun Oyebanji of Ekiti State received the Silver Bird Man of the Year 2025 award, acknowledging his significant contributions to the state's progress and youth empowerment. Richard Mofe-Damijo, a veteran actor and media personality, was celebrated for his impact on the Nigerian entertainment landscape, reflecting his dedication to promoting African arts and culture. The event also recognized many other distinguished individuals and governors who have made significant contributions to society, underscoring the diverse talents and achievements within our country. The event was a vibrant celebration of the Nigerian spirit, a reminder that we are a nation of achievers.
Are you in governance?
You need public speaking.
Are you in business?
You need public speaking.
Are you a professional?
You need public speaking.
Now you too can learn how to overcome nervousness and speak with confidence before any audience at the School of Eloquence, the home of public speaking.
Attend our practical and training one-on-one coaching with West Africa's only certified speaking professional at any of our centers in Lagos and Abuja.
To register, call 0802 3032 066 or 0706 1606 078 or log on to our website schoolofeloquence.org. School of Eloquence,
Teaching the world to speak.
The Nigeria Food Summit 2025 was a landmark gathering of food professionals from across the country, bringing together restaurant owners, chefs, farmers, and industry leaders to discuss the future of Nigerian cuisine and agriculture. With the theme, Making Nigeria a Global Food Destination, the summit provided a platform for collaboration and innovation, highlighting new strategies to enhance Nigeria's position in the global food industry. The event was a crucial step in positioning Nigeria as a global food powerhouse. Participants shared insights on boosting food exports, improving sustainability, and celebrating our rich culinary heritage. Now, we take you to the heart of Lagos entrepreneurial spirits at the streets of Ilupeju, where we met a remarkable woman who has become a local legend. Iyabumi, as she's popularly known, has been selling bananas for over 25 years. Her story is one of determination and unwavering optimism in the face of daily challenges.
$20 naira ni mo fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọjà yìí tí mo ta $20 naira. Ṣé ń ra tẹ́lẹ̀ wọn ọ̀rá bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ torí pé ó ti rẹ̀ kò yá bí tẹ́lẹ̀ torí pé wọ́n. Torí tẹ́lẹ̀ irú èlé tàǹtàn 2000 yẹn 500 300 ní sílá àmọ́ ń sìn yìí irú èlé ṣe 3000 2000 tẹ́lẹ̀ kí a máa ta méjì báyìí 500. Tó léwu jù ń bẹ̀ ni pé bí bá ti rà á pọ̀ tó bá ti wá pọ́n ó léwu pé kò ní bí mo ṣe fẹ́ tà nígbà tó dúdú yẹn kọ́ ọ́nà máa rà ní pupa yẹn wọ́n máa ná nínú ọ̀kùnrin wọn nílé kò nílé owó èèyàn nílé tó bí mo ṣe fẹ́ tà nígbà tó wà dúdú yẹn eléwu ń bẹ̀ nìyẹn.
What struck us most was her resilience and ability to find joy in her work. She's not just selling bananas, she's building a community, one customer at a time. Iyabumi's story reminds us that achievement comes in many different forms, and that the spirit of hard work and dedication is alive and well in every corner of our nation. These are the stories shaping Nigeria's journey toward progress and excellence. From national icons to global innovators, from entrepreneurs to community legends, Achievement News captures the moments that define our future. At Achievement Channel, we believe that every milestone is a step toward success. Stay tuned for more inspiring stories because achievement is not just a destination, it's a journey. Thank you for joining us. See you next time on Achievement News, where every story is a step toward empowerment.
Hey, this is Habiba Balogun, Chair of the 11th Champions of Talent Development Conference by Learning and Development Network. Shout out to who? The Achievement Channel.
Yeah, my name is Victor Diali. My friends call me Victorious Victor. You're on to Achievement Channel. Shout out to you, Achievement Channel. Thank you so much for being here and for relating with us in the way that you have done. I'm really excited to have met you all here today. And please, guys, keep watching Achievement Channel so you can achieve.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tayo Oluwole, and I want to say a special shout out to the Achievement Talent. You guys are doing great thing, and you are really inspiring us with most of the content you are churning out. And I am proud to even say that you are our partner in progress with some of the things you are turning out. Thank you very much.
I'm Dr. Samuel Jackson, Director Marketing Communication for the Learning and Development Network International. Keep watching Achievement Channel. Just like the name says, you got so much to achieve, so much to learn, capacity built on this channel. So keep it locked in. Don't turn it off.
The future of any nation is hidden in the potential of its children. At Catching Them Young, we don't wait for greatness to grow. We ignite it early. This is where champions are noticed. Where leaders are born. Where purpose begins. Catching them young, because tomorrow begins today.
Hello and welcome to Catching Them Young, the show where we inspire the future, one young mind at a time. You are watching Achievement Channel, Nigeria's first 100% motivational TV station, dedicated to showcasing stories that spark purpose, passion, and the pursuit of greatness. We are broadcasting live from the School of Eloquence Studio in Ikoyi, Lagos, and I'm your host, Sarah Andu. On this program, we bring you real-life achievers who are making waves across the world, people who started young and stayed focused, and are now helping others rise with them. Today's guest is a shining example of what it means to live with purpose and lead with vision. She is an education consultant, creative visionary, and passionate advocate for equity in education. Her name is Danielle Joshua Babatunde, and she is the founder and CEO of Transcend Movement and Transcend Education. With over 8 years of experience in the classroom and in the leadership roles across the UK and Nigeria, Danielle has trained more than 600 teachers, shaped thousands of students' journeys, and continues to redefine what education looks like. Danielle is driven by her faith and her mission to help every young person, regardless of background, unlock their full potential. Stay with us because this is going to be an inspiring conversation you don't want to miss.
Catching them young, because tomorrow begins today.
So, Danielle.
Yes, hi.
You've done so much. You've done a lot of things. But let's start from here. Your beginning, how was it like for you, your childhood, growing up? How was it like growing up?
Yes, firstly, thank you for having me. It's an honor. Thank you so much. So I grew up in the UK. I was born in the UK.
Okay.
So lived with my sister, my parents, kind of an normal background, I would say. My parents were working. But I experienced both private and state school. So my parents really believed in education, like every Nigerian parent, most Nigerian parents. And so it was always about being the best that you can be, you know, really aspiring high. So I was really nurtured. I had a really good community, church environment, was serving in the church from a very young age, singing and dancing from a very young age, and experienced going to a private school and also a state school. So kind of seeing that both ends basically. So yeah.
Wow, that's great. So we see that you had a very good background growing up, a childhood background growing up. That's increasing. So you hold a degree in politics and sociology, a master's in policy studies in education, and currently you are now pursuing a doctorate. That's quite impressive, you know. So what motivated you to pursue education so seriously at a young age?
Yes, I love this because education was never the plan. The plan was to perform. Right. So the plan was performance. So I was always doing theatre from a very young age, performing, camera, TV, that kind of thing. That was my goal. But then it actually started because I was 16 and I was in school and I was studying sociology. And the teacher said, if you are black, right, being in the UK, you are less likely to do as well as your white counterparts. And if you are from a working class background, so a lower income background, you are less likely to achieve an A star to C grade. And if you're a black boy, you're 4 times more likely to be excluded from school. And I remember looking around as a 16-year-old and thinking, this is actually true. Like, this is what I'm seeing around me. Like, these statistics are real. And so it was disturbing. It was disturbing enough that I was like, I need to do something about this. And even though I love my passions of performance and things like that, I wanted to go to uni to study sociology more. Do something about it within the education space. Because I don't think it should be right that where you're from should determine how well you do in life. So yeah.
Wow. So you're saying that there was a discrimination with, you know, your color because you were black.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like outrightly. It's not like, oh, because you are black, you're going to fail. But it's just that it's harder. You know, it's harder to achieve. It's harder to, you have to put a bit more work. There's lots of different things. And I just never thought about it. But I noticed that it wasn't reality for me. But it was reality. I went to a private school, but I also went to a state school. So I saw that difference that, when I was in a private school, that's true. My friends who weren't doing well, it didn't really matter because they were just going to work for their dad. Whereas when I went to the state school, I saw a lot of my friends, that was the reality, that a lot of them did drop out of school. A lot of them did try, I saw that. I saw the statistic. And so I wanted to do something about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So that motivated you to go into
education. Again, when I did my degree, I thought I was finished. I did not.
Okay.
I'm not, by the way, I know that most people, when they do a doctorate, you would think they're really intelligent. I'm not saying I'm not intelligent, but you would expect that, you must love books. You must love to read. No, I don't. I think I'm just passionate, and that's what drives me to try and do something more.
So, wow, that's an inspiring story. That's inspiring. So, Danielle, many young people currently are watching and they think that studying is boring or hard. So, what helped you stay focused? Do you have any tips for students who find it quite difficult?
Yeah. Okay, so there's actually research, right? That if a young person has an idea of what they want to do in the future and they know how school can help them achieve it, they're more than likely going to have higher motivation and they're more likely going to have higher achievement. And what that shows us is that if there's a goal, if there's an end goal that each child has, that, okay, I want to do this. Okay, school can help me with this. I need to put effort because this is where I'm going. Whereas if they don't have a goal and we're just saying, pass your exams, pass your exams, pass your exams, there's no real motivation. Okay, I'll pass my exams because I'm scared to fail. I'm scared to bring shame. But when you have something driving you more, it will push you in the right direction. So I would encourage that young people should find out their strengths, should find out an idea of what they want to do, their passion, and try to see education as that stepping stone to whatever you want to do. I would also say start revising and working from the beginning, not waiting till the end, not waiting till your exam 2 weeks before you start reading. I think that really helped me personally, especially in A levels and, that 16 to 18 age where just before university. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Good. All right. That's good. But I want to ask you something. You made mention of having a goal. What about children who do not have, a good parental background and don't even have an idea of what having a goal is or, something they want to pursue? So how would you say that they can, have a goal actually, even if they don't have someone, to help them, picture the future for them?
Yes. I love what you said because I think this is where school comes in.
Good.
And this is where the institution of schooling comes in. And that's why I'm so passionate with the work that I do with Transcend Education, because this is what we're trying to do. I think that if the curriculum in schools, if you embed in the curriculum about careers, future pathways, right from the beginning, primary school through to secondary, the teaching, basically. If every teacher, if you teach maths, English, science, whatever you're teaching, if you get the students to realize that this is not just for you to become a scientist or a mathematician, but these skills are going to help you in whatever you're going to do. If we can inspire the children from young and have this embedded in our curriculum, we'll be able to bridge that gap for children who have homes that unfortunately parents are not able to give them that support, or parents aren't exposed enough to be able to support them in that way. Then hopefully the school can be that bridge.
Wow, that's good. That's good. So the schools have a major role to play in every. That's good.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
good. That's good. So you made mention of Transcend. Let's talk about Transcend.
Yeah.
So Transcend Education. You've trained over 600 teachers in Abuja. What inspired that work?
Yes. So that was interesting. So when I was a couple of years ago, I went to do missionary work in Ghana. So I stayed in an orphanage, basically, for about 6 months. So I lived with children in their bunk beds, sleeping on their bunk beds in like a rural area, Asikuma kind of thing. So when I went there, I wanted to volunteer and teach. So I went to the school and said, I'm here to teach. And they were like, instead of you teaching, come and train our teachers. And I was like, why? I've only been qualified for a couple of years. I don't think I should be the one training your teachers. And they were like, no, trust me, you should train our teachers because majority of them are not qualified. And, whatever you're going to bring from outside, I'm sure it will be of value. So I basically you know, put my postgraduate kind of courses together that I got trained in, and basically trained those teachers. And that was great. The teachers loved it. And then I went to another school and said, hi, I'm here to volunteer for a week. And they were like, instead of you coming to teach, just train our teachers. And I began to see that there was a real issue with unqualified teachers teaching, teachers that are not passionate, teachers that are probably just doing this to figure out their own path, and they're teaching some of the most deprived children. And so that's basically how Transcend Education started. It started because there was a need, and I realized that it's not just Ghana. You know, now that I've relocated with my husband to Nigeria, it's the same thing in Nigeria. It's everywhere. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's wow. So that's what inspired Transcend.
Yes.
That's quite impressive, Danielle. Let us go on a quick break, and we would be right back.
Catching them young, because tomorrow begins today.
Do you feel terrified when speaking before a group? Are you stressed when asked to present? Do you bore people when speaking? Are you stuck with reading word for word? How do you give a speech with polish? Learn how at the School of Eloquence,
the home of public speaking. Attend our practical coaching in public speaking. Call 0802 303 2066 or log on to schoolofeloquence.org.
School of Eloquence, teaching the world to speak.
Catching them young, because tomorrow begins today.
Welcome back. Danielle, you talked about how inspired you were and how Transcend Education started. So I want to ask you, why is it important for young people to have teachers who care and use modern methods?
Yes, if you think about it, a teacher is in front of 30 children, right? Every single day, each hour. And those children have an opportunity to either be demotivated or motivated. They have an opportunity to learn something new or not learn anything. And the responsibility is on the teacher. It's a lot, it's not easy. And so the teacher must be able to be aware of new forms of teaching, new pedagogy. They must be able to build relationships with their students and understand where each child is at. Or else we're just going to be having almost a babysitting building, a building where babysitting is happening and not learning is really taking place. And so even though my passion is really young people, a lot of people think initially that Transcend Education was just for teachers. It's not, it's for the children. But I recognize that if I'm training 100 teachers, you need to times that by 30. That's the amount of students that we are impacting.
Wow.
And so the teachers are the gateway, they're the access to the students. And so if you really want to make reach and impact and scale, you need to reach the teachers.
The teachers, wow. So you're saying reaching the teachers in turn,
yes,
you were affecting the students.
Definitely.
Good.
Definitely.
That's all right. So you were also leading careers and PSHA development for students in the UK.
Yeah.
So what exactly does that mean, and how does it help students prepare for life?
Nice. So career education is just basically educating young people about the future careers, jobs that are happening around the world. And so what I do is I embed that into the curriculum, where every subject is empowering and inspiring career education for students, where students, regardless of what subject they're learning, they'll be able to see the potential skills that they can learn.
Okay.
So that's career education. PSHE stands for Personal Social Health Education. And so that's usually in the UK a core curriculum. In Nigeria, they might make it similar to civic, but it's not quite civic. But that's the most aligned subject, I can say. And so that enables young people to learn about themselves, and then learn about how they react with people around them, and then of course their future. So yes, so I currently do that and embed that into the curriculum for over 1,000 students in the UK, but also imbibe that into Transcend Education, where we delivered, workshops even just recently in Yaba. So hopefully for more young people to be more inspired. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So you're saying that the career education would help the children, have a knowledge or an idea of the kind of career path they want to take.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and know their strengths.
Know
their interests. A lot of young people are just untapped potential. I found out that I could sing at the age of 12, right? And thankfully my local church, when I presented it to them, they were like, join the choir. You know, when I realized that I could write plays, they were like, write the play for our church anniversary. They gave me a platform, right? But if I didn't have that local church to support me and enable that and enable me to practice, I might not have known my potential, right? And so it's important that every single institution, whether that's school, home life, church, mosque, whatever, that they are finding that untapped potential from young people and bringing it out, helping them to discover it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Can you talk more about the PSHE development?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
So, like I said before, PSHE is personal social health education, and that is developing the minds of young people, developing who they are as a person, developing their identity, helping them to learn about life skills. You know, I always say this to young people that your qualifications may get you to the door, but your character is what's going to sustain you, right? And so the character development of each of the children as well, regardless of whether you are privileged, right, or whether you're underprivileged, how can you relate with the people? How can you relate with employers? How can you relate, you know, having this conversation, looking at eye contact, all of these skills that a lot of the affluent families teach their children. A lot of affluent parents teach their children how to stand straight, how to look, how to handshake. But people that are from underprivileged backgrounds, people that are from low income backgrounds, they are not always as exposed to that. And so these are just the different layers that we really want to bridge that gap so that a child can be from wherever, you know, from, you know, the most slums of places, and they can come here and you can have a conversation with them and wouldn't even know whether they're the ones that is from the island or they're the ones from, do you understand? And I think that's my heart. That's my heart, to be able to see that. Yeah.
Wow, that's a great one.
That's
a great one. So Danielle, for viewers at home, especially students, what life skill should every young person begin to build now?
Yes. One is communication skills. Definitely. Communication skills is so important. So your oracy, your eye contact, body language, all of that, being able to master that, being able to perform, being able to deliver a speech, because even in, you know, an interview, a job, you have to sell yourself the moment you step in. And so mastering communication skills is going to help everyone. Critical thinking is also really good. Being somebody that is able to solve problems, being a problem solver in any job, in any career, in anywhere you go. If you can solve problems, money will follow you. If you can solve problems, people will flock you, because there are problems that people are looking for somebody to solve. And if you can do it, you're going to get that opportunity. So problem solving, critical thinking, communication. I would say those three. Definitely. There's loads, there's a lot more, but I would say those three are key. Yeah, really key.
Yeah, communication especially, because a lot of people currently, they have quite a lot of things up in their head. They have quite a lot of ideas, great ideas, but they don't know how to pitch themselves.
Right.
They don't know how to, you know, sell their ideas, or even, so I think communication is a very good skill for children, students at home to learn.
Yes.
Yeah, because you don't expect that I have so much of things. I have a future. I have things that I think I want to do, but I can't express myself.
Right.
I can't. Okay.
With what you just said, actually, I think that stems from school. I don't know what your schooling experience was like, but in school, were you encouraged to ask questions? Were you encouraged to critique? Were you encouraged to contribute?
Not really.
Right. And that is most schools in Nigeria, right? Most schools, children are not empowered to ask questions. They believe that the class is going well because all the children are quiet and are copying what is being written on the board. This is the difference between overseas. So overseas in the schools, they develop critical thinking. They want students to critique. They want you to ask questions. They want you to contribute to your learning. So what you find when you go to university, I met a lot of Nigerians, Ghanaians, loads of students from around the world that would come. And in our seminars, they would say, so what do you think about this? The lecturers will ask, everybody contribute. What do you think? And you would find that the people from UK, USA, they would be able to contribute.
More,
Other students, they'll just be like, are you really asking for my opinion? Please, just tell me what the answer is so I can pass my exam. Like, I don't understand this. And I think that if we in Nigeria and Ghana and everywhere, if we can ensure that we are developing that critical thinking, that empowerment, that they're not undermining the teacher by asking a question, you're empowering them so that when they go out into the world, wherever they find themselves, they'll be able to contribute. So, yeah.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
That's a great one. So let's talk about something really unique. Transcend Movement. 7 original gospel theatre productions across UK. That's incredible. How did it start?
Yes. So that started, remember what I said, I love to perform, and my church nurtured that environment for me. And so I went to uni, and I've grown up in the church from a very young age. But I think when I went to uni was where I really kind of came to a crossroad where I really needed to decide, you know, my journey with God. Is it really for God, or am I doing lukewarm? And lukewarm just basically means, you know, I'm following my faith, but I'm still compromising on everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when I went to university, I really decided that, you know what, this is the journey that I want to go on. This is what I believe is right for me. And I wanted to inspire other young people. I went on a missionary trip, and we actually did evangelism. And I really got so inspired that I was like, I want to be able to inspire other young people to experience what I've just experienced. And I realized that media was the best way to do that, writing a play. So I wrote a play of basically conversations and people that I knew, all into these fake characters, about real life journey, finding your faith. And I wrote this play, and I was in university. And you know, when you're in university, it's very easy to gather people around because you're all young and you all want something to do. So I managed to gather people and was like, guys, we're gonna do this play. And I told my best friend, and my best friend was doing it with me. And we did this play, and we had like 350 people that came, and 50 people gave their life to Christ. They decided that they're going to go on this faith journey. And so people were like, we want this, we want more of this. And so we did more, and we just went to different cities, and more people joined. And I think people joined because they wanted an opportunity, a platform to be able to also use their gifts for their faith. And so that's how we started. And
Wow.
Yeah.
You said something that caught my attention. You said you in uni you had to ask yourself that, was it are you going to be lukewarm, or are you going to talk about that? Okay?
Yeah. So I think really, obviously, I've always known God. I've always believed in God. I've always served in church. I've been in church serving in church since like 11. I've been singing in the choir. So I know it all, like in that sense, in terms of church and going to church and prayer and all of those things. And I believe that prayer answers all things. And I've always believed that. And I've always operated in that. However, deciding that it means I'm going to put myself to the standards in which God, I believe, has set for me. That is where the journey really begins, right? And so in university, I found myself very lukewarm in terms of I was just compromising. I'll do whatever I wanted, whatever I desired, but still go to church. And for me, it wasn't until I went on that missionary trip where my really good friend, Michael, said, are you integral? He asked that question, do you have integrity? And I was like, I'm integral, I have integrity. And he was like, okay, so if you got your mum or your pastor to watch your life in every facet of your life, would you be pleased? Would you be comfortable with them seeing every area? And I think that's when I realized, oh my gosh, I don't have integrity. And I think these are values, these are life values. Same thing, even if you're working in a company or a job, do you have integrity, right? And so these were life values that I asked myself in that situation, and I realized that, okay, no, there's more to do here, and there's more for me to do here. And I think when that light bulb switch came, I kind of made that decision that I'm going all in now. I know who God is. I believe in Jesus, and I'm going.
Wow. So do you now say that there is actually more to just being here on earth? And
definitely, I believe that there's a purpose for everyone, and I believe that some people discover that purpose, and I believe that some don't. I believe that some people create a purpose, and I believe that some people get a divine purpose from God. And but I think that there's a reason for why all of us are here. And I think, again, similar to that goal thing that I mentioned, I think once you know that, then you can focus everything on that, and everything you do can have a purpose, and you're not just living meaninglessly. You're not, you're able to live meaningful. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you.
So why is it important for young people to express themselves, whether through art, theater, writing, or even tech?
Yeah, so good. I think it's really important because in you expressing yourself, you're going to inspire other people to do the same. If you think about like what I said with Transcend Movement, how it started, because of the platform that I got in my local church, that inspired me that I can do something that I enjoy and that I really liked, and I felt fulfilled. In me doing that, I was able to get, we had a team of like 50 people at one point, 50 other people to start using their sound engineering, camera, pianists, drummers, all these people with gifts. They also were able to be inspired. And you're able to send a message, whatever that message is, whatever that light is, whatever that message is, you're able to send it through the medium that you're using to express yourself, whether that's art, whether that's, social media, whatever it may be. So I think it's really important. It helps people to find purpose and also inspire others.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's true. That's true. So how has your faith shaped your journey, both personally and professionally?
Yeah, I think my faith has shaped my journey, like I said earlier, in terms of just finding my purpose, knowing why I'm here, and knowing that some of why I'm here is to empower and equip young people to reach their full potential and go above and beyond. And that has shaped my journey with Transcend Education, with Transcend Movement, and it has also shaped my journey because it keeps me focused on also doing that for myself. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't inspire other people if you're not inspired.
True.
So because that fuels me, I'm able to also get other people to also do that for themselves as well. Professionally, I think the values that my faith journey holds, like I said, integrity, that's something that I had to learn and develop, and really realize that, am I integral in all things? Am I doing things the right way, or am I just trying to make shortcuts to benefit me? And so these are values that professionally, when you go into your careers, they want to see that you're integral. They want to see that you're honest. They want to see all of these values, and that's what is going to probably keep you in those companies. That's what's going to favor you by your managers. That's the light that's going to shine through to the CEOs and the owners of these companies, is people with values, right? People with good character. Because in this world, there's so many reasons why you shouldn't have good character. So when you're able to shine your light in that way, people are drawn to you and they position you in places that maybe you might not actually be qualified for. But that's what opens the door.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great. So Danielle, you've achieved so much already, but if you had to go back and speak to your 12-year-old self, what would you say?
I would probably say to myself, you're young. Do you know what it is? I would probably say to myself what I would say to myself now. It's not going to change. And that's because as a 12-year-old, I always wanted to be older. I always wanted to do things quickly. Like I always wanted to move forward and
you
move
didn't want
fast.
to enjoy your...
I was never like in the moment. I was just like, moving on to the next.
Moving.
And I'm still like that, right?
Wow.
And that's why I've done so much to people,
Wow.
even though I don't feel like I've done half of what I meant to do here. And I think that's because my mindset, I'm very futuristic. So I would have to tell my 12-year-old self what I'm telling my 30-year-old self, which is, you have time. Well, you don't really have time. It's God that owns the time. But that just enjoy the now, enjoy the present, be happy with what you have achieved now, and just continue to enjoy the process as you're pushing forward to your goals. That's what I would probably tell myself. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the process as you're moving forward towards your goal. So yeah.
Wow. So while they were there, because you were telling them, why they are trying to pursue, they should also enjoy the process.
Honestly, because parts of those processes are not easy. You have a goal, and so parts of it you feel like I'm getting towards it, right? You're like, yay, I'm getting this opportunity. But then when you get the opportunity, you realize it's whether it's, you're not earning enough, or whether it's whatever it could be, you might not necessarily be as content in it, because it's not quite the main thing. And that's why instead of finding your identity in things around you, just enjoy the process, because in the process it's helping you, whether you see it or not. It's giving you skills, it's helping you towards the goal. So yeah.
Oh, that's great, because I would say that that's true, because a lot of teenagers, young children, adults, they want to, get on to the next thing. And they just do not want to enjoy the whole process of, getting into that futuristic aspect of their life. And they just want to, I want to experience the
move on.
Yeah, that's true. So, Danielle, for our viewers currently watching us, some are in school, so some are in challenging environments. So what's your number one message for them today?
My message, I think, would be that you all have a gift, you all have a talent, and you all have purpose. And through life, you're going to discover that and keep your focused on what it is that you have to serve the world. Because when you realize what you have in terms of your strengths and your passions, and when you realize how you can serve people, you will find that those things that you're chasing, whether it's money, status, opportunity, those things will follow. When you're able to serve a need and you're doing what you love by serving a need, everything else you'll find. It says in the word, it says that your gift will make room for you, right? And so once you know your gift, focus on your gifting and focus on how you can serve people, whether that's making the nation better, whether that's serving a need. You will find every other desire that you have, it will all come together.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's a knowing your gift.
Knowing your gift, knowing why you're here, knowing what you have, and then thinking, how can I use this to serve? When you do that, money will come, opportunity will come, platform will come.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So one more, you said knowing. How do they? Most of them are children. In school. So how do they get to know?
Okay, so you can ask yourself, what do I enjoy doing? Right. So you ask yourself some questions. What do I enjoy doing? What am I good at? So you write those down. You might enjoy speaking. You might say, I really like speaking, or you might say, I really like helping people solve a problem. And then what are you good at? You might say, I'm good at maths, or I'm good at English, or I'm good at singing, I'm good at dancing, right? And then you can ask yourself, what do I care about? Okay, what do I look outside and it bothers me? Is it homelessness? Is it media, entertainment, not looking a certain way? There's something that you care about. There's something that you are yet to discover. When you write those three things down, what you enjoy, what you're good at, and what you care about, you'll be able to know.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Danielle.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Danielle, thank you so much. You've given us so much wisdom, motivation, and inspiration that every young child can transcend to their goals and to their visions. And to our amazing viewers at home, remember, greatness doesn't wait until you are older. It starts now. Whether you are in school, learning at home, or discovering your talent, take it seriously, dream big, and stay focused. Don't forget to tune in next time for more inspiring stories and valuable lessons. Keep the conversation going. Follow Arts Achievement Channel on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and YouTube for more inspiring stories and updates. Use the hashtag #WeSeePossibilities and share your own experiences with us. Until next time, believe in yourself, work hard, and never stop rising.
A new day dawns, full of possibilities. take the first step towards your dreams. Empower your mind with positive thoughts. Achieve more. Make a difference in someone's life today. Impossibility is nothing.
Speak with Power. Hello and welcome to the maiden episode of Speak with Power, the program that teaches you everything you need to know about public speaking. Speak with Power is brought to you by the School of Eloquence, Nigeria's home of public speaking, where we teach people how to speak well in public. This program is designed to educate you, to inspire you, and to challenge you with reference to the art of public speaking. Many people from various walks of life grapple with this all too important skill. There are people who work for organizations, people involved in sales, people in politics, people who are in the social enterprise sector, and in various other endeavors. When it's time to be heard, when it's time to take the stage, they struggle, they wobble, and in most cases, they fail. This program will unbundle the subject matter and demystify what public speaking is all about. This program will also show you the tips, the techniques, and of course the stories of ordinary people like you and I who have stepped up to the plate, and because they have learned how to speak in public, they have carved a niche for themselves. My name is Ubal Gisied, certified speaking professional and the Dean of the School of Eloquence, and I will be your host throughout this program. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll begin the eloquence journey. For us here at the School of Eloquence, our primary focus is on the art of public speaking, because it's a major problem. The essence of this course is to focus you on the subject of public speaking.
I got a lot more than I actually expected. I have overcome the fears I used to have.
The more you speak, the better you are at speaking.
School of Eloquence is the place you can be, and there's a turnaround. That change you are expecting, you get it in.
Welcome back. The program is still Speak with Power, where we teach you everything public speaking. You might be a politician, a classroom teacher, a businessman, an engineer, whatever field of human endeavor you find yourself in. You could even be a traditional ruler or part of the clergy. The truth is, sooner or later you will be asked what a drama skit for you titled The Bland Ambassador. You will be amazed when this skit comes up, what happens to celebrities when they fail to speak well in public. From the drama skit, we'll hit the road to hear from Nigerians why they fear public speaking. Next will be Inside Masterclass. In the masterclass, you'll find me teaching professionals how they can master this all too important subject matter. And then our guest today on the Eloquence Journey segment tells us how she became a chief executive and how public speaking helped her to rise from nothingness to a position of prominence. So sit tight and let's enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen,